everybody, welcome to the superhero scene. My name is Joe. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our superhero team, click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much. Let's get started. I want to do a huge video of rumors that have been leading up to what we've heard up till now about Spider-Man 3. It's been packed with crazy rumors that's been going around, and it started ever since Far From Home ended. We saw how it ended with, everybody knowing Peter Parker's identity, and ever since then, they kind of incorporated how Spider-Man 3 may include Kraven the Hunter. Now, recently, Jimmy Kimmel tweeted that, thrilled to announce I've been tapped to play Kraven the Hunter. Now, the Hunter is what really throws me off on this whole scenario, how he mentioned that. You've heard a plotline leak after Far From Home that they're going to hire someone, Kraven, to hunt down Peter Parker, who may be in hiding from everybody knowing his identity. And, they also brought about storylines, how it could include Matt Murdock being his lawyer that's hired if something bad happens. That could include Daredevil into this whole movie universe as well. As the Netflix show is done, they wanted to bring back Charlie Cox to to come back to his role as Daredevil, which I love. I really love the way he played Daredevil in that Netflix show. So hopefully that's a storyline that comes to light one day. But it also included another key thing that a lot of fans were saying, that Vincent D'Onofrio, who played the Kingpin, really wants to come into the cast of Spider-Man 3. So could he be another character that's included in with the story, as it's kind of shaping up a Sinister Six kind of aspect, which you've heard a lot about. You know it's coming. You know that's a huge, huge Spider-Man movie that's in the works. And you see it slowly developing with certain villains that are in these movies. We've seen the Vulture. We've seen the Scorpion nodded to, but not in any sort of uniform yet. You're seeing it with Shocker's in it. Electro's being brought back. They made an homage to it in Amazing Spiderman 2. I think it was the end scene where someone's walking by. You see all of their outfits in the background. And now you're hearing other rumors of Andrew Garfield possibly coming in with the whole multiverse. So that kind of makes sense how they're going to incorporate all this. But how will they do it? Will they do the characters of now? Will they do Sinister Six characters in other movies? As we've seen Lizard, we've seen Dr. Octopus, we've seen Green Goblin. So very interesting to see how they're going to do this with Marvel and Sony going ahead. And that Vincent D'Onofrio thing was in an article in ScreenRant.com. So if anybody wants to check out that article, it's called Vincent D'Onofrio Really Wants Daredevil's Kingpin to Join Spider-Man's 3 cast, but you've also heard a lot of fans talk about it as well. So definitely go there and check it out if you want to. I've done videos on the next two topics. Captain Marvel and the Falcon, the Captain America version, was cast in Spider-Man 3. Don't know if that's actually true or if that was a rumor. It was an article I saw. I did the video on it. I'll link it at the end. Very curious to see how, if they're incorporating this movie, how it develops into the new role of where they'll take the Avengers. Another rumor, it's not a rumor, it's actually true. Jamie Foxx has signed on to play Electro in Spider-Man 3. And that's what sparked the whole multiverse conversation. And he's signed on to play the same Electro as in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And he made a homage and said that I'm not going to be the blue version anymore. So I did a video on that. I'll link that one as well too. And the whole multiverse. We've heard it mentioned in Far From Home. We've heard Mysterio talking to Nick Fury and Peter Parker, Spider-Man, about it. Mentioned the whole multiverse thing and how different Earths exist with different people in it and everything. So it has been slowly thrown out there, and just to get the fans buzzing about this whole thing. And we're all waiting for this. And we've seen Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire version, in the Morbius trailer, and a lot of people were saying it's going to go back to the Tom Holland version. They just didn't have time for it. But could it stay that way? So it's curious to see how all these worlds will go together. But Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were in talks ever since this whole happened with the Jamie Foxx thing. The next thing that happened was, will they be reprising their roles as Spider-Man? And they were in talks to come back. There was another article that came out and said they were close to getting signed. Another article said they were signed. And recently Marvel came out and said this was debunked and it's not happening. So they said, another article that came out after that said that Sony is leaving the door open for that to happen. So will it all happen in the Sony movies? Will it happen in the Marvel movies? We'll have to wait and see what happens. But it's a good thing that one of these things are leaving it open where it could happen eventually down the line. And the latest one, Doctor Strange. He signed on to play the mentor role to Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Now, a lot of fans like this. A lot of fans don't like this. I like the way they played off of each other in Infinity War. I think with losing Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, I'm going to do a separate video on that as well. I think with losing that quippy aspect, that whole wise-ass aspect that we grown to love with Iron Man and Spider-Man, you'll get it back with Doctor Strange as Spider-Man. As we've seen it already in that movie, kind of made us laugh with the way they were talking. But a lot of people don't like this whole mentor thing. Spider-Man's been in a couple of movies already. And, I think it's just about time to let Spider-Man's wings fly and let him just be the main star of the movie. We've seen it in Spider-Man Homecoming with Peter Parker, and with Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man, and Happy playing that whole mentor role with him. We've seen it in Far From Home. We've seen it in Nick Fury and Happy again with, Iron Man being there with the glasses and everything, in spirit sort of thing. So, a lot of fans want to see Spidey just go off on his own and do his own movie and deal with whatever happens. But I'm okay either way. I like having other characters in it. I just don't like when it gets too flooded with different characters in a movie. The simplicity of having just a couple of characters in is what makes the plot lines better. It makes the storyline flow a bit better. When you have too much, you got to spend a certain amount of time developing each storyline where it could detract from the movie. So, I like movies that keep it simple, where they concentrate more on the storyline, the plot, and, whatever's going on with those characters. So we'll see what happens with this. There's just a lot of rumors going around with Spider-Man 3. You're hearing this is kind of going to be shaping up with like a storyline between Spider-Man 3, Doctor Strange 2, and WandaVision. You're going to see those two movies and that show on Disney Plus. They're all going to kind of go hand in hand with each other and kind of tie into each other a lot. So definitely check out WandaVision. I think it's going to be Spider-Man. I don't know the way it's going to go. I don't know if WandaVision's coming out before Spider-Man 3, but I know Doctor Strange 2 is coming out after Spider-Man 3. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with this. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more rumors about this movie, but the way it's shaping up, any way this goes, it's going to be an awesome movie. Spider-Man's one of my favorite superheroes. I love him just right under Superman and Batman to me. And I love the array of villains that Spider-Man carries. I think he has the best villains besides Batman, with just everything about those villains. Any one of them I like. So I like what they can do with this whole universe. We've seen it happen with Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie. I love what they did with that. And you could definitely see a live version shaping up with different roles coming back. And they did mention that Kirsten Dunst was rumored to come back. Emma Stone was rumored to be in some sort of way coming back. I don't know how after what happened in Amazing Spider-Man 2. You're hearing Dane DeHaan, who played the Green Goblin version. Harry Osborn, I'm sorry, in Amazing Spider-Man 2. He may come back. So you're hearing a lot of different people being rumored to come back into this. So just keep your spider sense tingling, because there's going to be a lot of different rumors coming out about this movie and where they're going to take this whole Spider-Man universe with Marvel and Sony. So definitely keep your ear out. If anything else happens, I'll do a video on it. Comment below what you think about this. Do you like all these rumors? How do you want Spider-Man 3 to come about in the movies? Comment below and let me know. And thank you all for your time and watching this. I really appreciate it. Smash that like button. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the superhero scene. Join our superhero team. Have a super night. Have a super day. Take it easy.